And we're going to be talking about the theme, which is about accelerate action. I think we have the perfect person to talk about action because you're doing it. You're running 2 successful businesses. How has that all been? Has it been overwhelming? How do you create the balance that you need? I can see that you're a wife as well. Yes, you know, you need to give hubby some attention, but you also need to give, you know, your 2 babies, which are your businesses, your attention as well. So how do you balance?
So I think I mostly prioritize. I try to figure out what needs my attention most, and then I give my attention there, and then trickle it down to the rest of the things. And then obviously, I don't really like timetables, but I have a way that I can balance my day. So I work during the day, and then during the night, or during the evenings, I leave it for housework, for any other activity. Say maybe just going out on a date with my
Spending
husband.
some time with the ladies.
Exactly.
The ladies
yes.
circle.
And then I usually go back to work, and then I work into the night. So I usually sleep around like 3 a.m.
What?
Yeah, that's my routine. I'm constantly sleeping like till the next morning, and then I wake up to my delivery guys wake me up in the morning, basically. So they see the raw version of me every morning. But yeah, that's the routine.
Wow. I mean, I know there are women out there that are unable to create this fine balance, because combining motherhood, like you said, with work, with being a wife, with being an entrepreneur, with taking care of extended family, how are you able to do it? Like, I can't even imagine being able to put all of that together.
I think it also helps that my husband is helpful.
Okay.
So he's understanding and he's helpful, and he also works into the nights.
Okay.
He's also an entrepreneur.
Right.
So I'm not doing this alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nobody's sleeping in that
Nobody's
house.
sleeping.
Wow. Grind
We don't
non-stop.
sleep. That's exactly when we are awake, because it's quiet, and then you can think and you can work, and there's no disturbances. So you're focused, and then you get whatever you want to get done. And then in the morning, the delivery guy comes, he picks up everything, and then you just go over the whole cycle again. Yeah.
Now, as we celebrate International Women's Day, we know how important it is for women to be financially independent, because it is men sometimes they can show you some shaggy here and there. I mean, how has running your own business made you feel independent, powerful, impactful, all of that?
So I stopped receiving pocket money in school, and eventually, right after uni, you know, you get the question, so what are you going to do with your life? Because obviously your parents are going to want to stop giving you money. So I had to think of something to do. I think I knew I didn't want to do a 9 to 5, so I was more focused on entrepreneurship. So I started Tsui Aku. However, I started Koshie way back in secondary school as a hobby.
I see.
Yes, and then so I used to make those little beaded bracelets for my classmates. They would say, "Oh, do kwame for me, because my boyfriend is in Boche, so I'll do it for them." And I was earning like just a little, and then I got to uni and I realized, okay, I could actually turn this into a business, especially when people always come to me to ask for gift ideas. So I figured, okay, let's make money out of this. And so eventually I had to figure out how to make money for myself, especially if I was not going to rely on a steady income every month. So that's how the whole idea started. And it has given me some level of independence, because then if I decide to spend, I know where the money is coming from. I know how hard I have to work to make that money back. So, yeah.
What are some of the steps, you know, if there's anybody out there who has a talent, who are creative, that want to turn it into a business? Because a lot of the times we hear, oh, we could tell that we can make money off this, you know, but it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Certain things need to be put in place. So what would you say was some of the things that you put in place, some of the structures you put in place to be able to turn your passion and creativity into a business?
Okay, so one thing I've learned is there's no new thing under the sun. What you're thinking of doing, someone has already done it. So the first thing I usually do is to research. For any idea, for any design, I research. Pinterest is like my most favorite app. So I go there and I type in whatever keywords I can think of. Now there's ChatGPT. So there's boundless like opportunities for you to do your research, see how other people are doing it. So you are constantly looking at other people for inspiration so that they can help you structure your plan. And then you add a little of passion, you add a little of you, because your business is partly you, or it's mainly you. So you need to add a bit of you. Otherwise, you end up copying what other people are doing. But you add a bit of you add a bit of the research you've done, and then you take these steps. And I think you start to move in the right direction. Yeah.
Nice. Well, speaking of steps, Naa Koshie, every business has a target market or a target audience. Who are your target audience, and how are you able to reach them seamlessly?
So my target audience is every woman that is fashionable.
Okay.
Who has, so in my bio it says for the bold, modern and edgy.
Right.
I understand that some of my bags are transparent. Especially when I started with these cane bags, especially the one in front here.
Okay.
And I started in Kumasi, and everybody was saying, "Mami no ye kenten waba, kenten." So everybody was like kenten, and then people would buy and ask, "How are you able to sell the idea that I should be walking around with a basket?" So it is redefining a local product, making it look luxurious, and then reaching out to people who are like-minded, who can also see the vision, and then they buy into it.
Helen, you're a regular customer.
I'm actually wearing
Oh.
some stuff from the brand, and Koshie didn't have to do too much to reel me in, because I like the aesthetic of the IG page. Very simple, very catchy. You know exactly what you're getting when you go on the page. So kudos for the marketing.
Thank
Naa
you.
Koshie has been chopping my money for a while now. Yeah.
I
She'll
always
continue chopping it.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
she's very
She's supposed to
innovative.
use to take
Yes.
us out. She's
Exactly.
been giving it to you now.
And I always do a happy dance when I see a client picture. When I saw your picture, you remember I asked if I
Yes.
could repost. I did a little happy dance because it's really exciting to see other people buy into your idea and actually wear the pieces that you've picked out. Yeah.
How easy has it been finding workers or people to be able to support you in this venture?
Right now, that's my top tier challenge, because it's difficult finding somebody to say that, okay, I actually want to work with you. In the beginning, a lot of people just want to see what exactly you're doing behind the scenes and then go and, exactly. So it's accepting people and then sieving through the people. I find that ladies or girls, I even have, I've actually had a gentleman work for me before. And people who are usually graduates from GHS or SHS, they're more willing to learn because they're waiting for their school placements and everything. So then I have a few of them come on board, I teach them, and then we work together for a few months to a year, and then their school placements come out and they have to leave. So usually I'm in between people, and that's been tough because everything I do is slow fashion, it's handmade, so it takes a while to get it done. And then a couple of people, would come and they want the orders tomorrow. So that's the challenge, but we're working towards expanding.
Have you been maybe intentional about wanting to work with more women?
Yes, I have. I have been intentional about that. Usually I would ask if I have any family members or friends or anybody that knows any girl who is, home from school, she's doing nothing, or she's just, helping around the house. If she's willing, if she's creative, if she's interested enough to come work, and then we do something together. Yeah.
Now, Naa Koshie, how important is mentorship on a journey like this, as we're celebrating International Women's Day with the theme Accelerate Action? Surely having somebody to guide you can accelerate that action, whatever it is that you're doing, business, career, personal. Who are the women that you look up to?
All the women in my family. I always say that the women in my family are the people who actually do the things. They don't just talk, they actually do.
They're action women.
They are action women. Every single woman I know in my family, from my grandmother to my mother to my cousins, my aunties, they all have something that they're doing. So there was no room for me to relax. Like, what are you doing? Everybody around you is doing something, is doing a lot, be it in their business and work, even in the house, at home. Even if my grandmother at some point was like a housewife, and she did so much. It's more than just maintenance and cooking. She's literally, she's the one that talks to all the artisans that will come to the house. She's the one that says, okay, we need a poly tank. Let's erect this structure. Let's do this. So she's they are all hands-on people. So I've learned that from them, that it's not just, if you have an idea, there's always room to actually make sure that you take that action out, like be able to actually make your idea come to life. Yeah.
And speaking of making your ideas come to life, are you keen on upgrading some of your skills in terms of how you make your bags, etc., because you've come from one place? I'm sure when you started, it wasn't this good, wasn't this beautiful. You've gotten this far. Is it something that you are intentional about?
Yes, every single time. Every time I'm doing something, I think I also get bored of routine and tired of doing something the same way. So sometimes this pearl bag was it's named the pearl bag, and it's named after my mother. The first bag we did not look like this at all. It has gone through so many edits. I'm currently working on an edit for another design that I already have, because there's always room for change. Creativity is not static. So there's always room to do something different, add something, so that you can also stand out and you're not boring.
Right.
We need a Helen bag.
We
Helen, don't we?
I don't know
Helen,
what the hell.
do you have a Ghana, like, okay, no, Helen, which tribe are you?
I'm a chim.
Do you have any Achim, any local name?
If you're crying.
We need an if you're crying
If
bag.
you're crying
then, so
bag.
you
The
can-
AK bag.
Yeah,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Love that.
AK-47.
Give me 100 of those.
You think it will sell?
For sure.
Supporting
we
women.
move.
I love that. I love that Sika is supporting the business.
Yes.
But tell me, how do you think, as successful as you are in your business, in your field currently, how can you also support other women who are in the same line of work as you do, or even women that are doing something completely different but would need a little push from your end? What is the best way to actually support them?
I think right now, collaborations, they help a lot. So usually when there's like a festive occasion, Valentine's Day, Christmas, I usually like to collaborate with other brands, and then we create like a gift package so that it's just easy to buy. All created under a specific amount of money, so it's easy to buy. So I find collaborations very beneficial and very promoting, because while I'm promoting my bags and my jewelry, I'm promoting your products too, and then it's vice versa. So collaborations really help.
Well, I'm thinking maybe like a food basket, but done with your pearl design.
Okay.
It would be such a beautiful like
Yes,
keepsake
yes.
after you receive all that
Exactly.
beautiful food, and still you could keep.
Exactly.
I mean, that would be so great.
You want to put more money in this basket? Or this is just light shopping in the mall?
Light shopping, you know,
All right,
some
all right,
waffles,
all right.
some pancakes, some things like that. But
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about what the overall presentation would be if it
Yes.
actually came in something like this. I think it would be beautiful.
It will be really unique.
Yeah.
Somebody put some dollars in a bag like this, I wouldn't say no.
say
But you know the transparent one, for instance, a very good bag for you to put like a little dollars in there.
Yes.
I
You
mean,
know.
walking around,
yeah.
you people, you don't fear.
Sika, you don't see it.
You don't
Oh,
fear.
yeah, people do that.
Yes,
People
when
do that.
People send me client pictures, they usually have like a large
Yeah.
note showing.
Oh.
Peeking. Yes.
I see. It's all part of the swag.
It's all
And
part
the
of
steez.
it.
I'll tell you where to go and where not to go with that see-through bag of yours.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I'm enjoying getting to know more about our women in business, because we see the glitz and the glam, but we know that the behind the scenes can often be quite daunting. It's not the same operating as a woman in business as it is for male counterparts. But Naa Koshie, what would you say is the hardest thing about being a woman in business?
The hardest thing is actually finding a balance, because while you're working, entrepreneurship never ends. So finding time, I remember before I got married, once I wake up, I move straight to my desk, I work, and then I take time for food, just a few minutes. So nobody demands like extra attention from me. But as you grow, as you get married, as things happen, when you give birth, other things demand your attention. So finding that right balance so that you don't lose what you have is very
It's tough.
yes, it's tough.
Because the theme is accelerate action, but women, we can't even run as fast, because as you're running, you're saddled with all that
Exactly,
responsibility.
exactly.
Everybody wants your attention.
Extra
But this is the year 2025 when we accelerate the action, we break down all the barriers, and we attain the same heights as our male counterparts, or at least we go as far as we can as women doing our own thing.